things that I find interesting, kind of in parallel process a little bit with the Jewish community, is my observation of the words that became mainstream in English. And they're not the sacred words used in prayer. You know, you think of the word schlep. I schlepped my backpack. You think of the word schmutz. You know, there's schmutz all over my house.
And we have many kinds of, we have you know, pandits is a Sanskrit word, which is a very trained person who performs certain procedures. But now there's Wall Street pundits, there's pundits on, you know, foreign policy. So sometimes when a word is introduced into the English language, it is given a different meaning, it is re-Christianed into another kind of meaning. And that's not serving the purpose I have in mind. I would give the example of yoga as a better example than the example of pandit, and even guru has become a very loose sort of thing. There's all kinds of gurus, you know. There's a software guru, there's some gurus of various, any expertise. So I think you're right, that you could actually make a mockery of the word by introducing it in a way that is not authentic. So my hope is that that's not the way we introduce this word. So I'm writing a lot about each and every one of those very distinct categories of thought that Sanskrit contains, as is a huge context that people should understand.
Oh, very interesting.
So for instance, the latest piece I'm writing, which I have to decide where to go, is there's a common misconception that the idea of Kundalini, you know, chakras, is the same as Holy Spirit. So I've written a blog, 3 pages, which I'll give you a copy of, on why Shakti and Kundalini are not the same as Holy Spirit.
Interesting. So clarifying the term and explaining what it means.
Yeah, and I start out by saying that difference doesn't mean superior or inferior. It just means we respect difference. And the cosmos is built on the principle of difference. Because Brahman takes all these forms as Leela, as the divine play. So to collapse all the diversity and say, well, we need only one kind of tree or one kind of fruit or one kind of culture or one kind of you know, flower is an injustice. It's not a right thing for us to do. So preserving this diversity and learning to enjoy it is righteous. And this diversity, which is built into the nature of you look at anything, you look at a little teeny piece of grass with a microscope, you see so many creatures moving around, and then you look at one creature, you look inside it, it's got cells, and each cell is different. I mean, this diversity has got, you know, you can keep tunneling into the diversity with greater and greater resolution, and you find it's bigger, it gets bigger and bigger. So that is so central to the fabric of reality, the principle of diversity, because Brahman expresses and manifests as the entire cosmos in every tiniest, minutest way that is Brahman's form. So no two are identical. Every one is a distinct thing. And this way the diversity is inherent in the universe, and sacredness is inherent in the universe at every level. So to preserve the cultural diversity, after all, the cultures are different because they came from different parts of the world, and different parts of the world have different geographies. So if you're an Eskimo, you have a certain kind of you know, evolution of culture. Then if you come from a desert, you come from a tree, forested culture, or if you're a mountain person, climate is different, the skin looks different, the body type looks different. If you're from a fishing community near the coast, you eat different stuff. So you could say that the differences in body types and cultures has a lot to do with difference in geography. But that is part of creation. It has been made like that. It's not a problem that we're supposed to solve. We're not supposed to have one ideal climate and enforce it everywhere and say there's one type of vegetation and one type of geographical, you know, rain pattern, and we ought to just optimize that, discover that perfect one and make it standard for everybody in the world. We'll destroy the planet if we do that. So that's why people are against genetically modified stuff and have, you know, which gets rid of biodiversity. Because you find one kind of corn, and that's it. Or you clone a person and you say this is the ideal human being, and then you clone that person and make everybody like that. You've killed diversity. So I'm applying the same principle to cultures.